But in terms of taper blues, like right now, you're probably at the beginning of your taper or just started. What is that for you? Do you go through those experiences in taper where you have those days that just are feeling terrible? Can you relate to other swimmers like that?
Yeah, I'm certainly a taper blues kind of guy, and your brain likes to forget every year that you go through it. So it seems like some new event every single year. But if I flip through, actually my logbooks are all right there. If I flip through logbooks from any year, I'm going to see in there at some point where the journaling just says feel terrible, terrible times, terrible, terrible, terrible. And the timing fluctuates a little bit each year. How long it lasts fluctuates a little bit. But yeah, I had it pretty bad before trials. Since I've been back from trials, I've actually been very consistent. So I've been really happy with that. But before trials, I definitely had the taper blues pretty bad. I'm trying to think of like when my worst practice was. Actually, oh yeah, I think it was like a week out from trials. I was pretty terrible. I can't remember what the set was. I think it was like a broken 100 or something, but it was bad. And I was like trying not to get nervous, but it's the same thing every year. But yeah, it's scary. Like you don't want to be going trash times like a week out from when you're supposed to be swimming. But then that's when you have to fall back on what you've done in training that year, trusting in the coaches. And I did. I did. I mean, so I was all right, to be honest, I was a bit grumpy that practice. But that's when I have to lean on my teammates. You know, that's why I still need a coach. I can't do this sport by myself. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really know what I'm doing at all, to be honest. Like I can't write my practices and stuff. So yeah, like even moments like that, I have to fall on a coach. But yeah, before trials was pretty bad, really bad actually.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there, man. I know it, and I've had athletes that have been there. But you know, great athletes like you always wake up on race day and say it doesn't matter how I feel today. Today's the day I race. I mean, they're not moving the event because Caeleb Dressel doesn't feel good the day he wakes up. You know what I mean? So it's happening whether you like it or not, right?
Yeah, I think actually this will probably be great for maybe not even the young swimmers, but my best feeling event at trials. So just a couple weeks ago, my best feeling warm up walking into the pool was 100 fly at night, which is what I consider to be one of my worst swims of that meet. And my worst feeling warm up, my dive 25, my pace, even getting in, doing my long swim was before the 50 free. And I consider that to be my best swim. So it really isn't. The longer I'm in the sport, you hear every coach say it, it's not about feel, like forget the feel. And the longer I'm in the sport, it really isn't. It's not about feel at all. One of my worst feeling meets as a whole was probably 2019 Worlds. And that was, I went a best time in every event. So it's not about feel. Yeah, sometimes you just have to get up and race. That's all the sport is. It's about, it's just getting up and racing. And there's nothing more to it than that. You don't need to rely on feel. And sometimes you just, honestly, sometimes you got to throw technique out the window too and not be thinking so much, which I think a lot in practice, but sometimes for racing, just go. So just shut up and swim. I think that's the easiest thing.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned that because I couldn't agree more in terms of sprint and high level performance. It's just, you just have those days where you got to be like, well, even the warm up, like you said, I've had swimmers, very, very high level swimmers perform at world champs and Olympics and had miserable warm ups. And so I can relate to that. It's just the best athletes just say, you know what, it's going to happen anyway. So let's go do it. So you kind of put it behind you.